Hey, hey, it's your boy, Silly Thoughts, and you are listening to Thoughts and Moments radio show right here on the Real 1100 AM. We are still in the middle of social distancing, but we are here to try to give you the best show that we could possibly give you. If I can turn off the volume.
I did that. Is that you?
That is me.
So
and I'm going to throw it to my co-host. Thank you.
Hello, everyone out there. So happy to be with you again today. We are braving these coronavirus streets to bring you something different, something new that you can listen to, because we know you are tired of the Zoom meetings at work. So, put on some pants or don't. It's up to you. We just want to make sure you guys have a little something
It's pants
fun.
optional.
Yes,
it's pants optional.
Although just do remember that you will still have that couch when this is over. Do you really want to be on there every day?
You just got to remember that you can turn off the video part of your Zoom meeting. So if you need to do something, you need to blow your nose, you need to scratch something that's you don't want shown on the video, just mute the video before you start doing those things. I think that's important. I've heard some horror stories already.
Jennifer. Yeah,
Jennifer.
If there's a video
Jennifer
going around. My heart goes out to Jennifer, who thought she was not seen when she was using the bathroom during a Zoom meeting. Jennifer.
I'm going to pray for Jennifer.
Yes.
But if you missed last week's show, it was our inaugural show. We had a great show. We talked about the coronavirus. We did our first ever, and we're going to do this again. We did our burger beatdown, where the Vortex was the winner. And we also we gave virus updates. We did several things last week. So go back. The podcast is up on SoundCloud. You can look for the Thoughts and Moments, or you can look under my government name, which is Ellis Dean. You can find it either way on SoundCloud. Or you can also go back and find the video as well on Facebook. So we are there. So that was... How have you been doing, Joy?
I've been good. I've actually been really good. I was a hermit anyway, like I said, so being inside was what I was going to do. I have really enjoyed watching some of my friends discover, the novelty of yoga pants without doing yoga. I got 15 pairs of yoga pants. I don't downward dog at all. But anyway, I've been doing well. Okay. Still safe, so everything. I'm closer to you than I've been to anyone since the last time I was over here.
Right.
So,
So we are still going.
Throw some
if you're listening, she got the Clorox wipe just waving it at me right now. It's all good. We are still, my household is still symptom free. I'm knocking on some wood on that one. And hunkering down and bearing through it. So.
And the last time we were on the air, we gave a special shout out, a prayer request for Brian Thomas's mother, who is doing better.
Great.
Yeah. So keep praying for Brian's family and for his mom, particularly, and his dad, and just and his whole family.
His whole family. Prayer works, and so I'm glad to get that great update on Brian and his family. So today we're going to, of course, in the middle of this pandemic, we're always going to give we feel it's our duty to give a coronavirus update to see where the latest are, what the numbers are. Are they trending up? Are they trending down? And how can we keep ourselves safe? We also have a social distancing survival guide, which just some things that we can do to avoid cabin fever, which can happen when you're just home alone or with your family, just stuck at home. Right. You can get cabin fever. Also, we're going to talk about what's next. Like once we get through this, is there going to be a change in what the new normal is with regards to how this pandemic is affecting the way we associate culturally in America
and beyond, because we're global now. So things have changed,
Yes, we're going to talk travel, education. A lot of these things are going to
I'm still going to Barbados in December. I'm going to need the government and the planes to work that out. Well,
I got a trip too. I think it's to Barbados. And so
look, bruh, don't be in Barbados when I'm
No. It's we had to postpone our 20th anniversary celebration. So we're going to go, I think, in October, November to, we got the little whole full, knockdown thing. So we're going to do the 20th then. Additionally, today we're going to give some suggestions. We're going to talk about what's happening on Netflix and Hulu, because they're the one that's winning. They're two companies that are winning right now because of social distancing.
I'm so glad I have stock in Netflix.
Burning up. So people have been burning up their Netflix, so their usage rate has gone up.
Comcast as well. Comcast, AT&T, because everybody's on the internet and they're up in their plans because they got more data.
Yes,
to share.
and I've been mad at AT&T because my data is going up and down. And then finally today we have a call in. He's not coming in. Call in from
Right, no new people.
from a group, and they've got a song that we're going to play today. So you're going to get a sneak peek of their single that's going to be released tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So we're getting a preview of that single. And we're going to interview them and talk about their journey, their musical journey, and now how things have changed since we've had to go to social distancing. And you can't go out and hawk your wares as much as you should.
Right, ain't nobody buying CDs out the trunk
as much as you could. So
I don't know where their trunk has been.
It's true. So that's what we have today. We got a big show today. We only got an hour to do it. So sit back, put on your seatbelt, and get ready for this ride. So we're going to take our first break with my man, Greg, in the booth. And we will see you in a minute. You're listening to Thoughts and Moments right here on the Real 1100 AM.
Everybody out there, if you can hear.
Oh, yeah, they can hear us now.
So we're doing one live. If you were on Instagram was not doing a good signal, so we're only on Facebook Live. Follow Ellis because we're going to be going live from his account. I'm sharing it on mine, but everything goes into his account. Okay, so y'all don't need my government name. Just thank you, Clint, for joining. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, James. Good to see y'all in the building.
JB, I saw you up there. I see a whole bunch of
JB.
people. I'm on my iPad today, so I can't see all the names as long as that's a downside for the iPad. So I'll be.
Shout out to my work bestie Kristen. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back in a second.
Listen wherever and whenever.
Hey. You back on your winning track there, Waze. Mask off. You know what's funny? I went and bought one of those Bane looking masks today from Ace Hardware. You know, the ones
that don't stop the coronavirus. Yes.
I spent $40 on that thing.
You spent $40 on a paint mask, baby.
On a paint mask. Mm-hmm. But it was like it looked so official, right? So I was like, ooh, we walk around the house looking like Bane.
Right. You merely adopted the dark.
Yes, a high altitude Jaws. Right. Yes.
You know you could have.
It don't stop one germ, does it?
You could have got like 2 paper towels and layered them with some tape, and you'd have been.
I saw a video of a dude with a shoe on his face. With one of his sneakers.
I saw a girl with a bra. She had cut her bra in half.
Yes.
Yeah.
People are showing how to do that. The bra thing.
I'm gonna go blind.
This dude had a sneaker like a Jordan, and he had his face in the foot part, and he had the strings that he tied around his head. He was standing waiting in line.
And that's gross.
It's doing way too much. You just going that's.
You're doing the most. And what you need to know about that is the virus is not airborne. It floats on the air.
Yeah.
So you have droplets, you have spray, you have touches. So you can put a shoe on your face, but if you shake hands with somebody or touch a doorknob or whatever and scratch your eye, boom, you've exposed yourself or potentially exposed yourself. So the shoe, you just smelling your own foot.
You confusing people fear with facts right now.
I know, right?
People like the fear. They don't like facts.
No,
right?
what they want is something that's simple that says I can just do this. And
I can just do this. Whatever makes them feel
go ahead and make your mask out of paper towels. Whatever you want to do to feel better, but still wash your hands.
Paper towels, paint masks, Jordans, all that stuff's not working.
What about the home remedies?
So apple cider vinegar does not cure the coronavirus.
Oh, I've heard hot water with lemon.
Okay.
And then put an air dryer at your face.
So the air dryer, no, it's not. Now I'm gonna tell you why people think that's gonna work. Because when you have a cold or when you have a respiratory distress situation, you got something that's building up your lungs. The heat can sometimes break it down. So drinking hot water, hot tea, I think there was something that said take a sip of hot water like every 20 minutes or something can help stave off some of the symptoms, but it's not going to stop you from getting it if you get it. It's just going to help you get through it. You cannot just drink, turmeric tea in the morning and run outside and go to the park. It doesn't work like that.
Please stop. But for my own amusement, just send me your home remedies. I would love to read them all and see what you're doing.
Oh, the voices in the house. Hey, Ursula.
Hey, so we're going to get into this show. So let's get to these trending topics.
All right.
Tell you I ain't gonna forget it today, Greg. Would you-
I'm gonna write me a song.
No.
I feel like I could do that.
You could.
I'm gonna write me a song.
I like that. Okay, so we're gonna get to trending topics. First up, coronavirus update. What's the latest? So the latest that I read today was there a little over 213,000 positive cases in the country, with about 1,500 or so deaths.
Yeah.
That's where we are. That's nationwide, and that's including there's like 54. So that's Puerto Rico.
Yeah, all the territories.
All the territories. United States 50 plus 4 territories. That's including all of those. So that's the macro of where we are.
Right. And to quote the comedian, what is her name? Oh, she did Tiger Mom. I forgot her name. Anyway, to quote her, look her up. She said, "If you ain't got it, you gonna get it." And that's something. Okay, so I think people really don't understand the difference between an epidemic,
Right.
which is usually short in nature and something that blasts out of nowhere,
Right.
and a pandemic.
Right.
Like panacea or Pangea or pansexual. Everywhere, everything,
Right.
all over. Forgive me for using pansexual like that. That's not exactly what that means. But anyway,
Yeah.
A pandemic is something that you can't run from.
No.
It's like a wave. It's going to wash over you eventually. How prepared are you to handle it?
Right.
And can you weather the storm? And basically last long enough for them to come up with a vaccine or
Right.
an antidote, if you will. But I doubt it, considering the type of virus that it is. They're probably going towards the vaccine. But stay in your house.
Yeah.
How many times does Sam Jackson have to tell you to TF at home?
That is true. I think the numbers are trending up, and as you can see, if you haven't figured out right now, is that more governors are shutting down entire states.
Yeah.
It's not just cities or counties or areas. Governors are shutting down entire states. I know Ron DeSantis down in Florida has shut down Florida, minus the churches and synagogues. We could talk about that. But he shut down, he's issued a shelter-in-place order. And so our own governor here in Georgia has done the same, even though he said the reason why he waited so long is because he just learned within the last 24 hours how contagious the virus is, and that you can get it without being symptomatic. So I don't know how true that
How did I know that and he didn't?
I don't know how true that statement was. I'm going to say that for the record. I don't know how true that statement
Dr.
was.
Fauci been saying that for a minute, about being asymptomatic and about transmitting to someone even though you feel fine. I feel like I saw that a week ago.
Yeah, we've seen it for a long time.
Aren't worried about listening to Dr. Fauci. They're trying to kill you.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole other story.
whole nother story.
That's a whole other story. But be that as it may, governors are now starting to shut down. I saw a news conference today with the governor of West Virginia talking about their issues there. So bottom line is this: shelter in place is moving nationwide. It's sweeping the nation. And so that just means, basically, the short version is stay your ass at home.
Yes. Can you say that on the radio?
You can, right?
Don't say it too much.
Okay. All right. I won't say it again. But stay your behind at home.
Right. But like your mom said, stay your little fast tail at home. That's what she said to me. Just me? Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
No, there was black mamas all over the country said that. I got 2 sisters. I done heard that most of the time. Take a little, sit down. So, I think, here's the question that I'm asking, while we're talking about this. So, how should they enforce this shelter at home ordinance? Should they send people to jail? 'Cause I know there was a pastor in Florida that violated the shelter at home, and he was arrested in Tampa for still holding church and having his congregation come to basically a large facility, incubator now, of coronavirus, because he wanted them in his facility and not watch him via streaming.
Yeah.
So should people be arrested? Should there be some sort of punishment for a violation of the order?
Considering I'm not in my house right now, I'm going to say it depends, because here we are. We're doing a radio show. Is this essential? In my opinion, yes. I think people do need different entertainment outlets to try and break up the monotony. You can only watch so many reruns of, The Avengers on Netflix.
Right.
You know who I'm talking to.
I just watched it the other day.
But at the same time, we are very cognizant of who we come in contact with. We didn't bring our guests into the studio.
Nope.
I've been playing with this same Clorox wipe for the last few minutes. Touching
I got the whole box over there.
Right,
if you need
we we wipe it down, everything. So we are limiting our exposure, and we're also limiting our contact. Now, if you go out and by the same token, if I sit in my house or sit on my porch and yell fire, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage.
Right.
If I go to a theater or a church and yell fire, that's not protected by freedom of speech. And so if you put, I almost said specifically. If you specifically, shout out to my dad, if you specifically invite people to congregate in groups that you know are statistically going to have somebody that's contagious in them, you are willfully endangering people. And that, to me, is different, and you should be arrested for that. But like trying to make a run to the store, no.
Yeah. It's going to be, I think, and I've been hard on law enforcement, so you just check my Facebook feed. I've been hard on law enforcement over the years. However, this is the time where, like, I do feel for them, and I wish people would help them do their job by staying home as much as possible.
Right.
I loaded up on groceries, or I went and loaded up on groceries. Do not go out there unless it's absolutely necessary.
Right.
So that's all I have to say about that. I'm using my Forrest Gump. That's all I have to say about that. Next up, social distancing survival.
Yes.
Have you contracted cabin fever yet?
I have not.
Okay.
But I do have some upgrades for you. You know, I want to make sure everybody gets this little life hack. So I'm going to take my little moment of thoughts and moments. I'm going to upgrade y'all real quick. Hello. Welcome to your upgrade. I'm so excited that worked. But, okay, so we want to talk about for the next few minutes is you guys get the idea of life hacks. I'm calling them upgrades.
Right.
What can you do to stave off cabin fever? First things first, I want to talk about the serenity prayer. You know, grant me the wisdom, the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Amen.
So if you think about that, you cannot change the government mandates. You cannot change the fact that this is a pandemic. You cannot change how other people are acting. What you can change is your behavior. You can be in control of your environment, and you can try to make sure that you keep the people around you as safe and healthy as possible. You can choose to eat better. You can choose to keep working out, even if that just means doing some raggedy crunches in your living room. Do something to keep your heart rate pumping, you know. You also can choose to see that this too shall pass, you know.
Cash App at Joyride. We're going to pass the Cash App plate on that one because you can't give it to her in person.
Joyride 08.
She'll know where your hand's been at. But we can, look.
Round it off to dollars.
Absolutely. How you handle, how you combat cabin fever, how you handle social distancing really depends on your attitude and approach towards it. And if you are going to see this as an opportunity to pick up a new skill, to work on a new hobby, to write that book you've been saying you was going to write.
And that is my next hack. So a lot of people are sitting around like watching Netflix and Hulu and everything. There's thousands and thousands of hours. You can absolutely do that. But when it's over, it's over. You've watched another show. Potentially, if you're watching some of this that we're going to get into in a second, you might be riding your brain. But think about, you know, now that you don't have that 30, 45-minute commute in the morning, how can you spend that time more effectively? You know, a lot of people complain about not getting able to watch their kids grow up because they work so hard. Your kids is looking at you in the face right now.
That?
So spend some quality time, you know. If you spending too much quality time, play some games with your children. Go analog, you know, Mother May I.
We got a puzzle.
Simon Says, get a puzzle, Legos, building blocks, all that stuff. You're never too old for Legos.
Yeah.
You know, if they get on your nerves, play hide and seek and just don't look for them. You know, just be like, where are you?
I was doing that before.
And
You hide, and like have them hide, and then you hide too.
right, and be like, oh, I thought y'all was looking for me. Right, in the bathtub under the blanket.
Y'all are some evil folks.
I don't have kids. That's how I would do it though. I think. Go ahead.
No. I will say this, dude. Just the one thing I'm gonna say. One of the things I learned yesterday when the governor here in Georgia canceled school for the rest of the year is my daughter's a senior in high school, and she lost a lot of things. She lost her senior prom. She's going to lose her graduation, that ability to walk off the stage. She's still going to get her diploma, but she lost her spring break. She's on spring break technically now, for Gwinnett County, and that's all gone. And when I sat down with her this morning, and she had a meltdown yesterday when she learned about it. And when I sat down with her this morning, what I said to her was, do not be defined by your disappointments.
Right.
Do not be defined by your disappointments. Use those to drive you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I said, that's something, and I was thinking about that. I said, that's something that I wanted to share on the show that I shared with her is this is a disappointment in life. But, you know, I know what I shared with her and I'm sharing with you all now is that I didn't go to prom ever. And we had prom.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to my junior prom, senior prom, none of that. I didn't have a date. I didn't have a girlfriend. And
I believe it.
And I didn't go. But it didn't define me. And
Right.
I didn't dwell on that disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'm disappointed. Yeah, that I didn't have that experience. But life is full of experiences.
Right.
And you can't let the missing of one stop you from getting the next one or
Right.
turning that into a positive. So what I said to her was like, look, when you go to college next year, your whole freshman class is going to have this shared experience.
Right. That's a good point.
And so at the end of that year, why don't y'all organize your own kind of formal amongst the freshmen
Freshman prom.
at college because everybody's going to have this shared experience. And so you all can, that gives you more people to share this with, not just yourself.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Should we play Upgrade You?
Get a little Ellis upgrade on there.
You know?
But yeah, I think that's those type of things can be very beneficial. When you talk about missing an event, I've seen on Facebook and a couple other places people that have missed birthdays, missed anniversaries like you did. The
Yep.
cutest thing I saw was like maybe a 6-year-old girl, 6, 7, whatever, I don't know, kids, a kid, whatever. She missed her birthday, so the people in the neighborhood had little happy birthday streamers, and they hung them on the side of their car, and they did a little parade in their
that's
car
nice.
with the windows up, honking their horn. You know, so the social distance was still there, but she got to celebrate her birthday from her driveway. But it
That's
was
nice.
more than canceling everything altogether. You know?
That's nice. And I think, you know, because my daughter just had her birthday. So she had her 18th birthday, spring break, all that stuff is happening during this pandemic. And it's hard for her. And so we've been trying to do our best to lift up her spirits. And I'm sure everybody, and there's a lot of people, we're not the only people that are experiencing this in life. And so find a way, change your attitude, and approach it like Joy, from a different perspective, like Joy said. All right, so moving on. So what's next? How are our lives going to be forever changed as a result of this pandemic? What are we going to do? What do you think is going to be different?
I can tell you right now, corporate America or businesses as a whole, across not just America, but across the world, have resisted work from home status. You know, there's a lot of tendency to micromanage. People want to keep an eye on you.
Right.
And so there was this idea, you have to be in the office. You cannot work from home. Even though everything you do is on a computer, you still need to come in here so I can look in your eye and make sure you're not
Make sure you're at the
playing
computer.
Gallagher on your computer. Exactly. You know, you don't have your mouse tied to your cat and making him run around in a circle while you go do something else.
Right.
But at the same time, people are also noticing, if they focus, that they can be a lot more productive at home because you're not being distracted by your coworkers. You can tell your kids to shut up, you know. So you also
You can try.
yeah. But you also that commute time can be used differently.
Yes.
When people go out for lunch and they take maybe an hour and a half to go to lunch because they want to get a break from the office. Now lunch is a bowl of cereal in the kitchen and you back at work. So the amount of time you spend actually working,
Right.
if it hasn't changed, it may even slightly improve. So I think you're going to see more companies decide that they can let people work from home on a more permanent basis. That also ripples into real estate because if you are not filling these commercial buildings, it affects the economy because now nobody's cleaning them,
Right.
nobody's servicing them, doing anything to them. There's no internet in there or whatever. So I know a few companies that even well in advance of this, like last year, because they had so many folks working from home, they downsized. One company sold their building and then rented out a floor because all they needed was a floor instead of 5.
Wow.
You know, so that I think we're going to see more of that in the future. And bidets.
You think, okay,
Because,
you're still on the bidet
I'm
thing.
still on the bidet thing. Y'all need to look into it. It's a good feeling. I could be real gross right now about eating healthier and how bidets work when you have a balanced diet, but I won't.
Ooh.
Just look into it. That's all I'm
Yes,
saying.
You know what it is. So I think ultimately there's going to be some industries that are going to rise. And one of the debates I've been having with this small investment club that me and some of my friends and fraternity brothers have created as a result of this is we've been looking at different companies and how their stocks are going to perform as a result of this pandemic. Zoom has been one because Zoom usage has gone up tremendously on personal and business side.
Oh, yeah.
With regards to, so we're like, okay, are they a good investment? Their stock has skyrocketed, but they've also had some issues with regards to security. They've been hacked a few times and things like
I've heard that.
And so, do you trust their leadership to continue to navigate these waters and keep that stock high? You might want to invest in that. I'm not saying I'm not making this as an endorsement.
We're not making an
but
endorsement.
that's just something that we discussed, and so we're looking at companies like DoorDash.
Yeah.
One of the things I thought about was, and I was telling, we went and we ordered takeout last night. We have a house full of food. We have enough food for probably the next 3 to 4 weeks. But we still order from a restaurant because if we just stop going to restaurants,
they cannot survive.
They're not going to survive. And so, yes, you can dine in, but you can still take out and take it home and go pick up, curbside pickup. And doing that once a week or once in a while will keep that restaurant afloat until we can actually go back in there, because they might disappear.
Right.
If you just stop going to restaurants and start eating from home, they might disappear. So we have to be cognizant of the damage that can be done by just pulling all the way in and not realizing that.
We got a couple of suggestions in the chat room.
Go ahead.
So Diane said, Joanne Fabric stock should be good right about now, because people are not only are they maybe sewing clothes or doing and learning arts and crafts, teaching their kids to sew. Again, that's something you can do at home. You could see fashion industries change after this. But Lou, thank you, Lou. He's like, gather up those 52-week lows. He's talking about the stock market. So
yes.
I did that. Like I bought some Comcast a couple weeks ago when it was at below its 52-week threshold,
right?
Because I know it's going to pop back, and it'll probably pop back high. If you see anything out there that is, I say, a reliable stock. Like, yes. I'm not saying go for startups or penny stocks or anything like that, but
right.
Oil companies are going to be there for the foreseeable future.
Yes.
Energy is going to be there. Agriculture, invest in something that even if it's low now, once this passes, there's a very good chance it comes back, and you can make some decent money in a year.
Absolutely. I had somebody mentioned Delta stock. It's low, very, very low right now. You can get back in because people are going to start flying again once this all ends. General Motors has been a stock. They're down, but once everything starts to come back, people so there's some stocks that you can definitely look at. And if you haven't had the opportunity to really start thinking about investing or getting or learning about it, you got the time now. What you doing? Where you going?
And with all this stuff that read up on it. But with all the stuff at year long or 52-week lows into the market and get a lot more shares than you could 6 months ago. So.
Right. And I said it. I think I said it last week, and I'm saying it again. Get you an Acorn account. Get your stash account. There's a low threat barriers to entry in terms of starting to invest on your own. If you don't have a lot of money, you don't need a lot of money to start investing. Acorn, Stash, those are two that I know of that I personally have involvement with. So just try those out. Get in there while the market is down so you can get as many shares as possible.
And you know what? Talk to some of your friends that seem to be doing well. Shout out to my friend Danny Bryant. I talked to him on the phone.
Danny Bryant?
Yeah. Danny, Georgia Tech, Danny.
Yeah.
I talked to Danny a couple weeks ago, and I was excited about this new thing I learned about from my insurance company about I'm not going to get into all of it, but I was like, Dan, you need to get up on this. He's like, yeah, I invested in that 8 years ago. How you gonna tell me? You're looking out for your girl. But don't be afraid to discuss finances. It's something we normally don't do.
Right.
Somebody out there has a secret. It's not all with, the other people or they, so to speak. We do have some people that are smart with investing. And so, follow their lead or ask them for advice.
Yeah.
Get a good financial planner. Shout out to Bill Luster. Shout out to Walter Hopkins.
These are all free recommendations.
If you need a good financial advisor, talk to me. I have several, and I highly recommend all of them. Because they keep me, I'm semi-retired and I'm 46, so I'm doing something right?
Talk to the people that are doing well. That's the best thing I do. So we're going to go ahead and take our second break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some fun stuff, some shows on Netflix and Hulu that kind of get you through social distancing and being at home and sheltering at home. So we're going to talk about the top 10 shows and we're going to give some recommendations. So we will be back in a minute, and you're listening to Thoughts and Moments right here on the Real 1100 AM.
You're listening to WWW Real 1100 AM, and we want you to practice good.
Hey, we appreciate y'all's contributions.
Thank y'all so much.
That's great. I love it.
20 seconds of
I love it.
Not only that, but y'all got some good advice. It helps people out. If you see somebody making comments under the show and they sound like they know what you're talking about, shoot that person a friend request. Don't wait on us to do it.
For real.
Just be like, he knows what he's talking about. Let me holler at John. Let me holler at Luke, because they in here dropping science. Okay?
I love it. I can't wait to go back and read them. I got the iPad today, as you can see. I didn't bring the full computer, so I can't get normally my computer is on the side like George can see. So I'm just riding with the screen right now.
Mm-hmm. Really?
You are 2 for 2 today, Greg, but last week you fell in on the third one, so let's see if you can make it 3 for 3 this week. And we are back, and you're listening to the Thoughts and Moments radio show right here on the Real 1100 AM, and you are also listening, if you are not listening live, you are listening to the podcast. So thank you all for downloading and listening to our podcast. We are up on SoundCloud for those that don't know, so we appreciate you, and we've got a few followers on there already, so we're excited about that to grow the show. So moving on, one of the things that when you do have some downtime, when you're not working and doing other projects during social distancing, one of the things that's really has kicked off has been people have been on television. We're watching more TV and streaming more things now because we can't go to sporting events, we can't go to bars, clubs, whatever, things that we used to, we can't go out and do activities that we normally would do, so we're watching a lot more television. And Netflix is banging right now. I mean, they're getting it right now. So they even have, if you go on your Netflix account, I'm sure you've seen it, if you scroll down a little bit, they've got the top 10 trending
movies,
shows that's going on right now. So they're telling you what you need to be watching right now. So I got the top 10 list here, and then we're going to give you some suggestions. So right now, the top Netflix show is Tiger King. And let's hang there for a minute. If you haven't watched the Tiger King, I don't know what you've been doing, because that is some specialty.
I don't know what to say about Tiger King. I saw so many posts about it, and I was, my real friends were like, "Don't do it. It'll rot your brain. It's worse than anything you've ever seen."
I love it.
The rest of my friends, the other 989 on Facebook, were like, "Girl, it's the funniest thing ever. You got to watch it. I'm so glad it's not diverse. It's just them doing crazy things." So if you've been watching Tiger King, drop something in the chat. Tell us what you think.
Yes, I promise you, it's number one, and it's what a rocket. And here's the irony of it. I don't want to give away the show, but he worked so hard to be famous, and now he can't enjoy his fame.
Oh yeah, I mean, people are spoiling the show all up and down. What kills me is people are spoiling it and saying, "But you still need to watch it."
You still need to watch it.
It's a seduction, tiger sex cult.
It's
nonsense.
Yes.
And there's a lady with some monkeys, and there's a snake.
There's
something else. And espionage and a hit on another tiger. It's crazy.
The guy that did the documentary said he ran into somebody randomly, and then the next 5 years of his life he spent creating this documentary, and he did an excellent job. So shout out to him. And the Tiger King is phenomenal watching.
Some many people have commented on it. Even OJ has something to say.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell you.
Carol.
He got theories about Carol.
I've heard about Carol.
Can we stop the music on that real quick? Just OJ's got a theory about somebody that's been accused of murdering their spouse. I want to let that sink in right quick. Go ahead, Greg. Put it
Furious effing Styles in the chat room said it's the most train wreck stuff that just won't quit that you've ever seen in your life.
I'm just mad it was only 7 episodes. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
There are other things to watch.
Yes.
So
all right. So number 2 is Ozark. Ozark's been on there for a while, but it's got a resurgence now that we've had the social distancing. So Ozark, All American. Shout out to my man Rob Hardy, fraternity brother of mine, a good friend from college. He is the director of that series. So I was watching it regardless. So I'm just very, very happy to see that it is trending at number 3 on Netflix right now. He showed the second season. Both seasons are on there, and he's got approved for a third season.
Cool.
So shout out to Rob and them and his success with regards to All American.
That's what's up.
Nailed it, and that I didn't realize what that was. I had to go and look at the preview.
I still don't know what that is.
It's a cooking show, and it's a baking show, and where they try to nail desserts. And so they're saying, did they nail it or did they not nail it? So I'm gonna go and watch that.
I'm a sucker for like cooking shows. I mean, Chopped. Chopped was one of my favorite things.
Chopped is special.
Love it.
Chopped is special. Beat Bobby Flay. Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay.
Yes, and the old Iron Chef, the old school Iron Chef.
Old school Iron
Yeah, so
Chef.
there's also a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily new that is still good.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you never caught up, if you're a science geek like me and you never watched Stranger Things, now is a great time.
But if you're a cook, if you're a ghetto foodie like myself, Food Network all day long. How to Fix a Drug Scandal, Bloodfather. These are some things that The Roommate, Unorthodox, The Platform, Car Master, Rusty Riches. Those are the top 10. Some of those I was like, meh. But some of them I might go ahead and watch because I got the time now to do it when I'm not, developing my new hobbies or whatever.
Right.
So what are some suggestions that aren't in that top 10 of Netflix? What are some suggestions that you have?
So I'm a sci-fi nerd, science geek, and everything. So one of the first things, as a matter of fact, I'm still doing it, is rewatching the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe from Iron Man all the way up through Endgame.
Wow.
I think I just finished Doctor Strange yesterday, so I'm about halfway through.
Okay.
And it's something that I can leave on as like background noise. I'm watching,
yes.
I'm remembering, I forgot that happened in that movie. I love this so much, but I also don't have to pay hard attention to it.
I do that same thing.
Right. But there's some other good shows. One thing I will say, if you never watched The Handmaid's Tale, it's turning into a documentary.
Oh, wow.
I don't mean they're turning it into, I mean what they've already filmed feels like they just shot it like now.
Right.
The idea of something happening and the world not being ready for the change and government stepping in to put stuff on women's bodies in particular.
Right.
All the stuff around like birth rates and everything, and just the idea that we might be under martial law.
Right.
Very much mimics some of the tenets of that show. I also think The Witcher is really good.
Okay.
If you haven't seen that. And what else have I watched recently? If you haven't watched The Mandalorian by now, now's the time to do it.
Oh, yeah. Mandalorian on Disney Plus. That's special. That's a great original program on there for all the Star Wars heads. Couple other shows. We got Love is Blind. That's hilarious. Go and put some eyes on that one. I've been watching Cloak and Dagger on Hulu.
Yeah.
That's a Marvel-based show. And it's a little slow to start, but I've kind of gotten into it now, so I've been kind of binge watching that. It's less background noise. I'm more of a background noise when I'm working kind of thing, so I've had to kind of tone that down when I'm trying to do some work versus, just watching it. But it's a good show that you can get into. The new Queer Eye, that was good.
I loved it, the one in Japan.
The new Queer Eye for the straight guys. So, I mean, if you're not homophobic or anything like that.
You know what? It's not even about that.
It's not, but some guys
and I say that with full venom. Get over it because they out there changing lives. They are making people cry. Karamo is my favorite. He's the life coach on the show.
Okay.
So I identify with him, and he will ask you a couple questions, and somebody who's like just rock hard, like, I never cried with thug. I got shot on it.
Breaking down and crying.
Breaking down. It's beautiful to see. And they really do some good work on there. A couple other shows that I forgot to mention. Black Mirror, also starting to look like a documentary. There's a show called You. And if you haven't seen You, I can't even really explain to you what it's about without ruining it for you, but it's about what happens when admiration becomes obsession. So
I call it Dexter with feelings.
Yes, that is exactly what that is.
Producer right there.
Dexter with feelings. That's exactly what that is.
So Cloak and Dagger's on Hulu, and so is also Little Fires Everywhere with Reese Witherspoon and what's your girl name from Scandal? That's in the black female that's in everything.
Yeah, her.
Kerry Washington.
Thank you.
She's like the new Kerry Washington.
Scandal chick.
Yeah, Scandal chick. So that's a couple of shows.
One other one that I started the other day, Queen Sono. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's kind of Mighty Quinn meets James Bond. Like it's set on the African continent. I won't say it's a particular city because they kind of go all over the place.
Right.
But she's very much like a secret agent type, trying to find out like something about her own past. It's a really good show.
So, and that's just on 2 stations. We talked about Netflix and Hulu. So there's still Amazon.
And Disney Plus.
Amazon's got their, Apple's got their own original programming. So
Insecure comes back April 12th. If you got HBO.
You'll be home, so.
Right.
So, right before we go to our break, we're going to play our guest song. I'm sure they're on the phone already. So, we're going to play their song. This is a whole nother. It was inspired by the Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Ta-Nehisi Coates book. Pronounce his name right. So, check this out. We're going to play the song, then we're going to go to our break, and then we're going to come back and talk to the writers and performers of the song and talk about their song and their career in music. So, we'll be right back. But first, listen to A Whole Nother World.
Can I hear the song live?
Yes.
Okay.
I got that.
Awesome.
I turned it up.
The song slaps, man. I like it.
I did too.
Between the world and me, it's a whole nother world I see. And I'm seeing it was made for me, what they aim for me. So life, it ain't a game to me. Every man ain't what he claimed to be. Between the world and me, it's a whole nother world I see. I think it's time for the world to see. It ain't the same for me. It's a shame, but the change I see is the change that I aim to be. Between the world and me. Boys in the hood seeing dead bodies. Cold world, we need coats, that's from Ta-Nehisi. Booker James, present day, this is that man. Booker Eli, this a message to the black man. Young and old, irregardless of your age range. Cause they treat my neighborhood like a gun range. So for your daddies and your sons too, this is Sun Tzu to get through. Them dark valleys on them dark days and dark nights. But just because you dark, now you fighting for your life. It's real and it's real, but it's been that since the cotton picking days and them bent backs. Now it's time to buy the block like Nip did it. Acrobatic real estate, got the flip with it. It's on some Marcus, Elijah, and that UEP. I need my people living free, and that's on me. Between the world and me, it's a whole nother world I see. And I'm seeing it was made for me, what they aim for me. So life, it ain't a game to me. Every man ain't what he claimed to be.
Nicole.
Between the world and me, it's a whole nother world I see. I think it's time for the world to see. It ain't the same for me. It's a shame, but the change I see is the change that I aim to be.
Rockets on 7-Elevens, put up a 7-Eleven. We only stopped for a second, my homie gone now. Dark hair, brown eyes, let them lights out. Didn't even ask mom for the night out. But me and Jackie always make some bad decisions. I told his mom what had happened, she grabbed a tissue and broke his spirit, she couldn't listen. It's hard to hear that your son died from holding Skittles. It's hard seeing your son when the chains become different. Our future, what we can figure, what we consider the bigger picture. Grabbing pistols in the mirror, just to make some distance from my mental. We can make it better, but it's
I love the chat room. They're like, hey, wash your shorts.
Oppositions like Ray Lewis. Our people took what they gave them. Took the chains and made them the cages. I took my pain and
I
wrote
love
it
the
on
chat
pages.
room.
Between the world and me.
I just got in there. I think I know how to do it.
And I'm seeing it was made for me, what they aim
Hey,
for me.
Tia.
So life, it ain't a game to me. Every man ain't what he claimed to be. Between the world and me, it's a whole nother world I see. I think it's time for the world to see. It ain't the same for me. It's a shame, but the change I see.
Hey folks, just a quick reminder that no matter the time of the day and no matter what day of the week, East Coast, West Coast, all points in between, we are always on. So go to your app store and download the Real 1100 app and listen wherever and whenever.
Wash your hands, avoid sick people, and touching your face. This station and the Beasley Best community of caring want to protect your family. Get everyday prevention tips at cdc.gov/COVID-19.
That's my jam.
And we are back, and you are 3 for 3 this week, Greg. You be ailing, but you're not ailing because you are here chilling with us on the Real 1100 AM. We are
Yes.
Thoughts and Moments. I am your boy, Shelly Thoughts, and I am Shelly
Joyride.
Sitting across from the love Joyride. And before we went to a break, you just heard A Whole Nother World by our guest that's coming up. Do we have them on the line? Hey, y'all speak up.
Yeah, we know it. What's up? What's up?
What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing today?
Good, how are you? Oh,
We're trying to stay safe and social distancing, but we are happy to have you here. And we got DXOMX, and then on the line, he was the second person on the song, and the first one, I can't say it because it had the A with the 2 dots on it, so I could.
ALaZ.
ALaZ. Okay.
Yeah.
my man ALaZ, and both verses were slamming. I love the song. Talk to us about how the song came to be.
Yeah, well, first of all, we want to thank you all for having us on the show. This song is definitely a team effort and an intergenerational conversation that happens between 3 generations. We were inspired by, as you said, Ta-Nehisi Coates' book, Between the World and Me. And me and DK met through the Otis Redding Foundation down in Macon, Georgia at a music camp that's every summer for ages 12 to 18. And it celebrates Otis Redding and just him as a songwriter and making music. So we have a group called a Rap Room where we always come up with songs that are conscious and, try to push the envelope of what we talk about in music. So we were introduced to the book by his father, Dr. Kevin Willoughby, and told us about it. DK did a summer reading for it. I was, went ahead and read it, and it just struck us in a way where him having that conversation with his 15-year-old son, being a Howard University graduate, and both of us having...
And me being 15 at the time, yeah.
15, okay.
The Spelman versus Everyone shirt, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Morehouse grad.
Okay.
So we got FAMU group, you know what I'm saying?
HBCUs in the house.
Yeah, so him taking it upon himself to have that conversation really struck us with what our roles were, and just fathers and sons having those conversations. Me as a millennial, being able to start to take leadership and connect the next generation, and I'll let DK speak on, like his perspective and his role in it as well.
Okay.
But like I had it for my summer reading because my dad came to me with the book and he was like, this is a really moving piece of work. And I sat down with it, and it really changed my perspective on what it was like to be as a black man in America. Like, the different generations, like, the story hasn't changed. Like, we see it over time. Black men in America just, get treated different. So it was really moving to me, and I really wanted to put it in the song. And, ALaZ helped me do that with the beat that he came up with, and it was just like I feel like this song really caught the vibe of the whole movement behind the book. So, yeah.
I would agree. I love the song. I love the message that you guys are putting out, and the idea. What I like about it is, as you say, this the experience that black men go through in America, in the United States. The environment changes, but the experience itself doesn't. Right. And so to have that connection from, you to your father, to your grandfather, to his father, so on and so forth, what they beat you down with is different. But the fact that they're still holding you down is still there. Right. And knowing that you're not alone, that what you're going through isn't new, even though it's still happening, and that is sad. The fact that you have that solidarity, that someone else got through it and you can get through it too. I love the idea of this song.
Thank you.
So what's been the feedback that you've gotten from the people that have heard it, from the fact that, because I mean, let's be honest, music today, especially hip-hop, rap music, has kind of drifted away from being more conscious-oriented, and hopefully it's going to resurge and come back, but that's not what is selling. So, A, what made you decide to go this route, and B, what's been the feedback that you've received having this type of song being a single out there?
And it's deep that you bring that up because, we have conversations all the time just about, like, marketing and, like, in this landscape of music and being in different generations. Like, you got, Dr. Williams, who comes from, the Goody Mob days and, like, the Outkast days. You got me coming from, like, I grew up on, like, even though KRS-One wasn't out at the time, like, that's still on, like, De La Soul, Run DMC, and even, like, T.I. and Young Jeezy. At this point, you talk to somebody that's super young, looks at them as almost old school artists now.
Right.
Yeah.
So then you got, DK with, the NBA young boys at the time, Lil Uzi Vert, and all of this. Like, the conversation, the thing is, like, the first thing that I always tell the students is you got to make it dope. It don't matter if it's a message in it. It don't matter if it's, conscious or whatever you want to say. It's got to be quality. So that was the first goal, was to make it quality, like to make it jamming. So we feel like we hit that when it came to the beat. It's not a party song. It's not something, and we know the lane for it. So when we show it to people, they connect with the message and they connect with the lyrical content. And it's been a strong response. We got a chance to perform at the opening for the actual show when they brought it. Shout out to the Cultural Collective at the Gathering Spot.
Yeah.
They brought this actual adaptation, which was done by another Howard graduate, our sister Camila. She brought it down, and it started in New York. I mean, like Common, Angela Bassett, Black Thought, like all of these great, artists were involved. And then she brought it down to Atlanta at Atlanta Symphony Hall. And you had the mayor herself, Keisha Lance Bottoms was a reader. You had T.I. as a reader, Killer Mike as a reader, Lettucey, and even Pauletta Washington. It was a lot of different readers. And we performed at the Gathering Spot before, and we performed at the after party after. So
I was there. I was at the after party. I went to the show that night along with Dr. Williams, and I was there and I watched y'all perform, and I thought it was excellent. The performance. I think that what I hear, and we talked about this last week. And there's another show that y'all can binge watch, Hustle and Flow. No, Rhythm and Flow.
Rhythm and Flow.
Rhythm and Flow. I gotta get that Rhythm and Flow. And one of the things, so you watch that now, you think you're a hip hop expert. Of course, when you watch that show. But one of the things I loved about the song was when you walk away, when you hear a song, you gotta have something that you can walk away that you remember. And Between the World and Me is what I remember from that song. And so you feel that resonate throughout the song whenever you're hearing it. And so you say the hook is it gets you, and the beat is there. It is something that you can ride to. And then when you start playing it again, then you could get into the lyrics and really start understanding that there's a strong message in here. But with today's music listener, you got to get them with the hook first, and the beat is slamming. So nice job. I'm gonna say
ALaZ.
ALaZ, I'm sorry. I got ghetto vernacular in my mouth.
You must say ALaZ, wasn't you?
I was like,
I apologize for him, y'all.
Alaba.
Boo. That's terrible.
I'm sorry. But it's all good. I mean, y'all are definitely doing some really big things. So what's next for you two?
So, God willing, if it's lifted in time, we'll be going back for another year at the Otis Music Camp. As I said, our relationship started through the Otis Redding Foundation, and we want to give a big shout out to them because the work that they're doing when it comes to just arts and education is invaluable. You see what's going on in schools. I mean, DK is, how old are you, DK?
16 now. Yeah.
16. So, a lot of the things that are going on in schools, like the arts education, DK is like the superhero, you know what I'm saying? DK is an athlete, you know what I'm saying? This man plays baseball, he's an actor, and, he got a project getting ready to come out. And
I know his daddy, he can't do nothing else.
I really relate to that because I was kept active coming up as a student, so, that's something that we're looking forward to. And, the single release, working to get it on as many platforms, people can check out A Whole Nother World on every streaming platform from iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, and anywhere that music is streamed. So we're really looking to get on more platforms and get the song out there.
Okay, so that's what I really wanted to know. So if they wanted to find it, it's on all the streaming platforms, and it says Between the World and Me by...
No, it's A Whole Nother World.
A Whole Nother World.
See, okay.
That's the name of the single.
A Whole Nother World.
And you might want to put that in parentheses, Between the World and Me, on that, so people can recognize it.
So they don't look for the wrong thing.
That's just a layman's thing. But y'all keep doing what you're doing. How can they follow you? I want people to, we're here. We're gonna try to help blow people up. So how can the folks? We got the chat room giving you mad love right now. How can people follow you on social media?
DK?
They can follow me at DXOMX _ on Instagram and at DXOMX1 on Twitter.
Okay.
And they can follow me at ALaZ, the number 4, LIFE on Instagram and Twitter. Once again, that's ALAZ, the number 4, LISE, ALaZ for life.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So go on the streaming platforms. When is it? Is it already on there now? It's on all of the streaming platforms?
Oh, man, y'all got an exclusive today, man. You know what I'm saying? This was the first, the first play. It drops tomorrow on all platforms. And we, like we said, we really appreciate y'all for having us.
See, that's the kind of quality information we're giving y'all right here on Thoughts and Moments. We're giving music, but nobody's heard. You just heard an exclusive right there. Come on now.
This is a world premiere right here.
We should have given it some music or something, Greg. I blame Greg for that.
But, guys, honestly, just speaking as an old school hip hop head, when y'all say Run DMC, that's my lane because I'm a seasoned listener, and I just want to say I love the song.
Yes.
I wish you guys the very best. I hope that everything that you want to have happen happens for you and more. I hope it exceeds your wildest dreams, and I will be right there in the front row, or if I sneak in the back. One of them ways I will be there supporting y'all all the way for sure.
Hey, real quick before you go, ALaZ, thank you so much for being there. DK, this story will never, ever end. So every time I see you, I'm going to bring this up. So just understand that 20 years from now, I'm going to be that old man like, remember when? And you don't have to just shake your head. It's okay, all right. That's Mr. Ellis. That's Mr. Ellis. Okay, just go back to your wheelchair, old man. Well, we appreciate you two coming on with us. Thank you all for taking the challenge of putting positive music back out in the atmosphere, and I don't take that lightly. No. I think it's easy to fall into lanes and try to produce music that is going to sell or going to be popular today. For you all to challenge on and create something that's meaningful, that has meaning to you, and for multi-generational. I love what you said, an intergenerational conversation. That's exactly what this is, and we appreciate you all for doing that. And we thank you all. On behalf of the show, we thank you for trusting us to be the first to premiere your song. So we don't take that responsibility lightly.
Thank you so much, man. And we want to thank our parents as well, man. You know what I mean? Definitely without them, we stand on that foundation and all of their ancestors. So we appreciate everything, man. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Y'all have a good stay safe, guys.
Don't touch nothing.
Spray it down. All right, so we got to wrap up this show. We're coming up on, golly, an hour. We need 2 hours, Greg. We need to make that happen. I'm not paying for the second hour, but we're going to do it. We'll get some sponsors.
That's not up to me.
That's not up to you. We're going to get some sponsors. So if you're looking to sponsor the show, so if you want this show to go longer, talk to your company that you went to say, hey, like, I got this great show in Atlanta.
And as we mentioned last time, if you have a business that you'd like to come on and talk, by all means, hit us up and we can work it out,
Absolutely.
We're all about promoting small businesses here.
We can make that happen. Parting shots, Joy.
Shout out to Lena, Clint, to my bestie, Erica. See you on the Zoom party soon. And anybody that I may have missed, chalk it up to my head and my heart. Nicole, I saw trying to scroll back through. Just, y'all know I love y'all. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up.
Again, I'm just going to, reiterate, blessings to Brian Thomas and his family for their recovery. We're going to continue to pray for their recovery. Also, I'm going to remind y'all what I said to my daughter. Do not let your disappointments define you. Let them drive you. And that's all I have for today. We will see y'all next week. Okay, real quick.
Next week.
Got one more thing. Next week, we're not going to be in studio because the shelter at home ordinance here, but we are going to be on Instagram Live. So make sure you're following us. We're Thoughts and Moments Radio on Instagram. We will be on Instagram Live.
Yes.
Doing the show on Instagram Live.
We're going to share our screens, and so you'll see both of us on Instagram Live. We're going to get that working from home because we don't want to get arrested.
Exactly.
So we will be in home, but we will still be on somewhere on Instagram Live on the Thoughts and Moments Radio. Thoughts and Moments Radio. Next Thursday, 5 p.m. we'll be live.
Yes, so we'll put that on all of our social media so you can get the link and find out. We'll be promoting it all week. So we're not going to be in studio next week, but 2 weeks from now we'll be back in studio, Lord willing, so we can continue to give you quality entertainment. Thank you all. On behalf of Joyride, this is your boy Silly Thoughts signing off. Real 1100 for my man Greg in the booth, holding us down. We are family. Keep it safe. Stay safe, people.
All right, y'all. Yay!
Much better. Yeah, we learning. Look at us. Appreciate y'all joining us. Yeah. So I know there was. I think I saw a question in the chat room about are we recording this? Yes, we are. It'll be up
on SoundCloud.
Yes, it's on my Silly Thoughts YouTube page now. The video from last week.
Okay.
So I need to send you a link to that. I need to post that link. So if you want to watch the video, I'd rather you watch this video because last week the audio
a little shaky.
I was a little shaky last week. But if you want to just listen to the show on SoundCloud, it's definitely already up, and I'll continue to post those links from last week's show. And then
for those of you not familiar with SoundCloud or that don't use it a lot, it works like a podcast. So you can go to our it's under your ALaZ page, right?
Yeah.
And look for the link because we'll be posting it on Instagram, posting it on Facebook, and it'll play for an hour, and you can treat it just like any other podcast that you listen to. Okay.
The link
you can play in your car.
The link is actually on our IG page.
Yeah, Instagram page.
It's on our homepage on our IG, so you can just click on that, and that'll take you directly to the podcast. You can see everything that we post there. So we're going to continue to promote that so people can go back and listen to it. You can share it. It's shareable. So sharing is important. Why am I talking to the microphone? It's not on. But sharing is important for us. And so we do appreciate the fact that if there's been one benefit for our show,
y'all can't go there. So we got kind of a captive audience, and we really appreciate you guys listening because we're trying to get something off the ground here. We want to, of course, grow and get more followers and more listeners, but I was so excited when we broke 20 today. I know D-Nice is out here breaking the internet with 150,000. I'm very, very proud of my Ride or Die 25 for showing up today. So thank y'all so much.
Absolutely. And when I was doing my other show, I never broke 25, on a live show that people are showing that they're watching.
Right.
So I thank you all for that, and we're trying to give you quality entertainment, with a knowledgeable spin to it.
Right.
So that's
any suggestions for the show? Drop them in the chat on Facebook right now.
Yes.
It's still up, so we will be taking suggestions. Anything you want us to do or see, aside from us beating each other up, because no touching. But let us know what you're interested in because we are here for you.
So segments for next week's show that you can become a part of. One thing is we're going to do Thirsty Thursday next week. We're going to do our first Thirsty Thursday. So send us your favorite drink recipes. Don't send it to me personally. Don't send it to Joy personally. Put it on our Thoughts and Moments radio page on Facebook, or you can put it on Instagram. I'll be a call to order on that. But make sure to put your favorite drink recipe, and we're going to pick one, and we're going to... I'm going to make it before we get on the show. I'm going to make it live on the show.
I'm going to make two because I'm going to drink one before I get in. I can walk here. So
and we're going to put that recipe out there for everybody to see. So make sure Thirsty Thursday, our first Thirsty Thursday, we're going to have your favorite drink that you've been drinking, especially during social distancing. Because I learned how to make a Long Island. I've learned how to make a Texas margarita. I've got several drinks that I've been working on.
See, I need to bone up because all I've learned how to make is another run to Target for that box of wine that is $17.99. I'm still riding out on that first box, y'all. I'm telling you, it's worth the investment.
Oh, the man at the liquor store know me. I'd be like, making something new today. Yeah, I got bitters.
I will be coming up with a recipe of what you can make with the stuff in your kitchen.
So we're going to have 2 Thirsty Thursdays.
Lime juice, hot sauce, and ketchup.
The sexiness and whatever. So send us your favorite drink recipes, and we're looking forward to hearing from you all on that. And I'll make sure we're going to ask for that all over social media. Shout out to, and share the show page, please.
Please do. Shout out to Diane. I know we are not 6 feet apart. I sprayed them down before we came in here, and then I wiped myself down. So we are relatively sure.
I'm gonna cover up the advertising.
We're
y'all
not
seen
touching
this before?
the same things. We're not touching it. Yeah.
We wipe everything down with this, including each other.
Yes, and the chair, and the mic, and the table, and my computer. Y'all saw me here. I've been holding it on my phone with my little wipe the whole time. We are doing the best we can with still being closer than 6 feet. But
exactly.
He's spitting on that mic. I'm spitting on this one.
This is my personal mic. I take this home with me. I brought this to the studio. I'm going to wipe it down, and then I'm going to put it in my bag, and I'm taking this home with me. So we are taking all the precautions, including that's why we're going to do Instagram Live next week, because we're going to be good citizens of the state and shelter at home and not venture out to.
We don't want to pretend to be tough guys. It's just not worth it. And with the shelter in place stance, it was okay up until now, but now that we've been told specifically, stay yourself at home.
Yes, Diane. Yes. Yes.
Diane got the lead on the mask.
She got the mask.
Oh, you holding out, Diane?
I bought the Bane mask today. They already ridiculed me about saying it's not going to stop that nam germ. I said nam. Yeah, I said nam. Nam germ. But it looks cool, though. I got the black one. The black one, I look like a superhero when I put... Okay.
That mask does not stop the virus. And what I'm afraid of is that it gives you a false sense of security. I got my mask on. I can run down the street and do whatever I want. That is not how this works. So please wash your hands. Don't touch anything. You guys know the drill. And trust me, all of this is coming off by the door and then going straight into the washer once I take a shower, head to toe, almost like I decontaminate when I walk back in the house because,
Oh, Diane, you make a mask? You make the bra mask? Or as I saw on the internet, you make the titty mask?
What?
That's what the dude called it. You gotta go. You gotta follow D.O. Hugh on Instagram.
I saw it. The old guy. And she tried to convince him to put the mask. Yeah, look for D.O. Hughley with the old guy sitting on the bed, and his daughter, I think, is trying to convince him to put half a bra on his face as a mask. And he knew what it was.
The titty mask.
And he knew what it was, but he still had to do it. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. So. Okay, so we got people making homemade masks. Right. I love the fact that y'all being arts and craftsy.
Right? Like they said, Joanne Fabric, man, all you got to do. So there are certain filters, like the HEPA filters that you put in the AC thing in your house. Take that, rip the metal wire frame off of it, and that actually is basically N95 rated material. Put that between something else, now you got a mask.
Look at y'all getting
Thank
crafty.
you to Tara Craig, who told me that. Tara Hayward Craig. She hooked me up on that. She made one and sent us a picture.
That's what's up. Shout out to and I'm gonna have an announcement next week. I got contacted by a product company that wants me to be a spokesperson for their product. Okay. So we're in negotiations right now on that. So I might be promoting the product, in sometime in the near future. So if you see some products are popping up on across my social media, you'll know that's not free.
And we are open to sponsorship. So if you want us to promote a product, we can work out some very reasonable terms. Just let us know. I will put whatever it is, pop right here in the middle and point to it the entire time. We're trying to grow. So help us out.
Yes, please, definitely do. So again, we are very happy to be here, and we are excited about the possibilities of this show. And it wouldn't be anything without you all. And so keep riding with us. We're at a prime time. We are on drive time.
Right. Once they let us drive again, this will be something that you can listen to on your way home. That's why we picked 5 o'clock. We wanted it to be something that you could do while you were, busy doing something else, like driving or getting the kids
wrapping
ready,
wrapping up your day, driving home. Download the 1100 app. I will put a link to that on our Thoughts and Moments radio page on Facebook. How you can download the app for the show, so you don't have to watch us live on Facebook if you're somewhere else. Download the radio station app and you can listen to it. So any type of listen, views, SoundCloud, you can go back after the fact and listen to it. So live or later, you can always check out the show. So we're excited about that.
All
right. So we're gonna go home. I gotta go wash this clothes
me down
and take my bleach shower.
Yes. Don't knock it. A couple teaspoons full of bleach in a bath and some bath water. It's probably not enough, but it makes me feel better.
Bleach is a special product.
Bleach is all.
The only thing bad about it is you cannot ingest it. Please do not ingest bleach. Any bleach.
That's the first way to die.
But externally, and don't put it on your skin, but externally on clothes or surfaces.
Right. Everything in my house smells like bleach.
Boy, bleach be getting it. I'm sorry. Bleach is getting it.
When I walk in right now, I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna leave everything right where I left it. Drop the keys on the floor, get my bleach wipes, come back through, hit the doorknobs, hit my keys, hit my phone and everything before it goes any further into my house. I'm gonna take a shower and then I'm put on my inside clothes and then wash the rest of it. So we're being as safe as we can. But next week we will be virtual.
I can't use I'm covering up the name. Right. I'm telling you, y'all know what this is. This stays in my car. If I have to leave my house, this is riding shotgun. Everybody else is in the back.
Right.
Okay. Straight up. So. Next week, Instagram Live will be on there, and then we'll hopefully, Lord willing, we'll be back here in studio in 2 weeks.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you.